Now that we know how to check a file's permissions, let's focus on getting to know how to change those permissions. Let's open our terminal. I prefer working inside a specific subdirectory within the home directory. Let's change our directory by navigating into the Documents subdirectory. We need to create a file inside the Documents directory and check its permissions. Using the touch command, let's create a file called file1. To confirm that this file is indeed created, let's use the ls command. We can see file1 has been created. Now, we need to check the file1's permissions. We use the command lsl to list file1 together with its permissions as evident in this output. From this output, the dash shows that file1 is a file and not a directory. The next three characters represent the user/owner's permissions. In this case, the user has only the read and write permissions. They do not have the execute permission. The next three characters represent the group's permissions. In this case, the group also has only the read and write permissions. They do not have the execute permission as well. The last three characters represent other users' permissions. In this case, other users only have the read permission. They do not have the write and execute permissions. Let's try and change permissions using the symbolic method. We want to give the user/owner the permission to execute file1. Let's type the command chmod u+x file1 and click enter. If there are no errors, then we have changed the permissions of the owner. Let's confirm this by typing lsl command. As you can see, an X, which signifies the execute permission, has been added to the owner. Now, let's deny the group from having the right permission. To do this, we should type chmod gw file1 command and click enter. Again, if there are no errors, then we have changed the permissions of the group. We can again use lsl to confirm the change. Next, let's give the other users the right permission using the command chmod o+w file1. Let's confirm the change using lsl command. Finally, let's give the group exact or specific permissions. To do this, we use the command chmod g=rwx file1 and click enter. No errors indicate that the change has been made. Now, let's confirm it using lsl command. And that's how you can change a file's permissions. What about directories? How do you change their users' permissions? The commands used to change a directory's permissions is the same as the ones we have talked about so far. Let's demonstrate this by first making a directory using the mdir command. Let's name the directory myfolder. Let's confirm whether the directory is created using the ls command. And there it is. It is created successfully. Now, let's use the lsl command to see the permissions of the files and directories in our current working directory. As you can see, we now have one file and one directory. This is our directory. The D here tells us that this is a directory. The next three characters shows that the owner has all the permissions: read, write, and execute. The next three characters also shows that the group has all the three permissions: read, write, and execute. The last three characters shows that other users have only two permissions, which include read and execute but not the write capability. Let's change permissions of our directory. Let's deny the group the write permission using the command chmod gw myfolder. When you click enter and see no errors, it means the change is successful. You can confirm the change using the lsl command. As you can see, the group has no write permission. You can try changing permissions of the owner and other users just like we did using file1. Our terminal is a bit crowded. Let's clear it using the clear command. Good, now that our terminal is cleared, let's again type the command lsl to see our files and directories. We now want to focus on the numeric method. Let's change the permissions of file1 using the command chmod 754 file1. If you click lsl to see the changes, you will notice the owner of the file has all the 3 permissions, the group has only 2 permissions, read and execute, and other users have only 1 permission, read. Let's do the same with our directory. Type the command chmod 754 myfolder and click enter. No errors indicate a successful change. To confirm the change, again use the lsl command. Just like in the case of file1, the owner of myfolder has all the 3 permissions, the group has only 2 permissions, read and execute, and other users have only 1 permission, read. Now, let's change permissions of the directory using chmod 111 file1 and chmod 111 myfolder commands. After doing so, let's confirm the changes using lsl command. You will realize that the owners, groups, and other users of both the file and directory have only 1 permission, to execute. You can make the final permissions change using the command chmod 555 file1 and chmod 555 myfolder and click enter. If you check the file and directory using lsl, you will realize that all users have only 2 permissions, to read and execute, for both file1 and myfolder. This is how you can change permissions using the numeric method. That is how to change permissions of files in Linux. Thank you. Goodbye.